Back in October, I reviewed World Rally Championship 8 for the Xbox, PlayStation and PC, and found it to be a really competent rally game. And not only just competent, but major strides have been taken in the series following World Rally Championship 7 and taking a year out to improve every aspect of the game, which was clearly seen as soon as you booted it up and played your first race. Everything from the handling model to the texture work to the lighting to performance, even just the gameplay, everything felt so much better than previous iterations, and it was definitely a pleasant surprise. However, there is now the Switch version that released a little bit later, and it is the exact same game in terms of content, but in terms of sort of balance and the same things to expect, that's really where it ends, because World Rally Championship 8 on the Switch is, well, it's honestly a disaster. Everything, like absolutely everything about it is just so much worse. It is such an inferior version of the game that's so disappointing, because the core game itself, from what I played on Xbox and PC, is a really enjoyable game. And if the only exposure you have to this series is the Switch, you will probably be turned off the series for life. And that's especially disappointing given the fact that the devs and publishers have recently announced that they will be covering, or at least releasing, 3 more games in the series over the next 3 years, which I think is a great deal in place, because what they built in WRC 8 it is really good. It's a little bit different to the Dirt series, or the Dirt Rally series. It's more along the lines of, and the career mode is genuinely brilliant. Like, you get to choose where you want to go, and the rally days feel really complete and sometimes taxing and exhausting in the best ways. That's where I'm going to end, just talking about the game itself as a whole, and just talk about how it performs on Switch, or well, how badly it performs on Switch. It is a chugger. It chugs every aspect. It barely feels like it ever keeps to its 30 frames a second frame rate. And then in the menus themselves, they really hang, to the point where I thought the game had crashed a few times, and there was such a staggered delay on inputs that is just unbearable at times. And that's just the menus. In the game, it actually somehow performs a little bit better, but not a whole lot. There are a lot of times when the frame rate really hits, and in a game like a rally game, especially when it's trying to be a real proper rally game, it is just unacceptable. And you could sort of give it a miss or a miss if the fact of the matter is that it looked okay, but this is a terrible looking game. It's, I would say, early PlayStation 2 levels of bad, and you can sort of put the onus on the Switch not being great for racing games, because you have games that look incredible, like the Metro games that recently released just look unbelievable, and there's a lot more racing games out there that just look pretty damn good on this. Even Grid Autosport and so many other ports of PlayStation 3 games and Xbox 360 games that look pretty good. Where here it's just not the case. Everything is incredibly aliased. The texture work, especially on the trees, is god awful, and it just looks so old and dated, which is shocking given that the game, at least its Big Brother game, released just a few months ago. Yeah, the only thing I can say about this is avoid it at all costs on Switch, and genuinely you should pick it up on other platforms, because it is a really good rally game, but for the Switch, just stay well away.
Into right 2, 100.